Can white people help Native Americans? Yes, white people can definitely play a positive role in supporting Native American rights, but it requires a commitment to all sorts of things: understanding the history, listening to Native voices, and taking meaningful actions. Here are some steps they can take to be effective allies. Number one, educate themselves. Understanding the history of Native American communities, including the impact of colonization, forced assimilation, and ongoing systemic discrimination, is crucial. This includes learning about treaties, land rights, and cultural practices. Number two, listen to Native voices. It's important to listen to and amplify the voices of Native American leaders, activists, and community members. White allies should avoid speaking over Native people and instead support their efforts. Number three, support Native-led initiatives. Whether through donating to Native organizations, attending events, or advocating for policies that benefit Native communities, white allies should support initiatives that are led by Native people themselves. Number four, advocate for policy changes. White allies can use their influence to advocate for policies that protect Native sovereignty, land rights, and access to resources. This can include lobbying for better representation of Native issues in government and media. Number five, challenge racism and stereotypes. White people can challenge harmful stereotypes and racism when they encounter them, whether in casual conversations or within institutions. This includes educating others and promoting accurate representations of Native cultures. Number six, reflect on their own privilege. Understanding and reflecting on the privileges they have as white people is very important. Allies should be mindful of how their actions can either reinforce or dismantle systems of oppression. Number seven, engage in reconciliation efforts. Participating in or supporting reconciliation efforts like those aimed at addressing historical injustices is another way to contribute positively. Number eight, respect Native sovereignty. Recognizing and respecting the sovereignty of Native nations, including their right to self-determination, is essential. This means acknowledging the importance of treaty rights and supporting efforts to return land to Native communities. By taking these actions, white people can contribute to a more just and equitable society for Native Americans. But it's essential that these efforts are ongoing and not seen as a one-time commitment. It's also important for white allies to recognize that skepticism from Native communities is a valid and understandable response given the long history of betrayal, broken treaties, and ongoing injustices. Here are some ways that the white person can approach and deal with the skepticism. Acknowledge it, recognize and respect the reasons behind it, understand that it comes from historical and ongoing trauma, and that trust is something that gets earned over time. Practice humility. Approach interactions with humility, understanding that you're entering a space with a complex history. Be open to learning, even if it means being uncomfortable. Trust is built through consistent long-term actions, not words or one-time efforts. Show your commitment to supporting Native communities by being reliable, showing up consistently, and following through on promises. Listen without defensiveness. If you're met with skepticism or criticism, listen without becoming defensive. Understand that it's not personal, but rather a response to a broader context. Use this as an opportunity to learn and improve. Center Native voices. Ensure that your efforts to help are centered around Native voices and leadership. This means not trying to lead or control the narrative, but rather supporting what Native communities are already doing. Number six, be patient. Trust and understanding take time. Be patient, don't expect immediate acceptance or validation. Understand that healing and trust building are long-term processes. Educate others. Work within your own community to educate other white people about Native rights, history, and the reasons for skepticism. This can help to reduce the burden on Native people to consistently explain or justify their feelings. Be willing to step back. Sometimes the best way to support is by stepping back and allowing Native communities to lead. This might mean recognizing when your presence is not needed or could be counterproductive. Finally, reflect on your intentions. Regularly reflect on them. Find out why you're motivated to be involved. Ensure that your actions are genuinely about supporting Native rights and not about seeking validation or approval. By approaching the situation with respect, patience, and a genuine commitment to justice, white allies can contribute positively while understanding that trust and acceptance may take time to develop.